The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zektar of the Vorthak Empire delivered the grim news. His 6 eyes dimmed with fear as he spoke to the assembled representatives of 43 civilizations. The Devourers have broken through the Kepler defense line, he announced, his mandibles clicking nervously. 3 more systems have gone dark. The pattern is always the same. Complete destruction. No survivors. Murmurs of terror rippled through the chamber. The Devourers were nightmares made flesh, creatures of shadow and hunger that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. Standing 12 feet tall with obsidian carapaces and razor-sharp appendages, they consumed everything in their path. Metal, flesh, energy itself. No weapon had ever harmed them. No shield had ever stopped them. They were the galaxy's ultimate predators. "We must evacuate the Outer Rim colonies," squeaked Representative Plix of the Zeridian Collective, her translucent form trembling. "It's our only option." "And go where?" rumbled Commander Thane of the Draconic Hegemony, smoke curling from his nostrils. "They've consumed 1/4 of the galaxy already. Soon there will be nowhere left to run." That's when the human delegation requested permission to speak. The assembled aliens turned their various forms of attention to the small group of bipedal mammals. Humans were the newest members of the Galactic Council, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 3 centuries ago. Most species considered them primitive curiosities, violent, emotional, and utterly unpredictable. Captain Sarah Chen stepped forward, her dark eyes steady. "The Human Federation would like to volunteer for first contact with the Devourers." The chamber erupted in shocked chatter. Several representatives made sounds that their translators rendered as incredulous laughter. "You wish to commit suicide?" Ambassador Zektar's voice dripped with disbelief. "These creatures have destroyed civilizations that had mastered stellar engineering, while your species was still discovering fire." Captain Chen remained calm. "We have a different approach in mind." 3 weeks later, the human research vessel, Friendship, dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Zerian system, where the largest concentration of Devourers had been detected. The ship was unarmed, its hull painted in bright, non-threatening colors, and it broadcasted a repeating message of peaceful intent in every known language. Dr. James Morrison, the mission's xenobiologist, reviewed their preparation one final time. "Remember, team, we're not here to fight or flee, we're here to understand." The Devourers detected them within minutes. A swarm of the creatures emerged from the planet's shadow, their forms seeming to bend space itself as they moved. Most species would have activated shields and weapons. The humans activated their external speakers and began playing music, a carefully selected mix of classical compositions and natural sounds from Earth. The lead Devourer, larger than the rest, approached the ship. Its form was magnificent and terrible, like a living void given shape. But instead of attacking, it paused. Dr. Morrison leaned forward in his chair. "Visual sensors detect cellular vibration in response to the audio frequencies. I think it's listening." Captain Chen made a decision that would change galactic history. She opened a communication channel, not to speak, but to transmit something else entirely. The memory of a human lullaby, converted to pure emotional resonance through their empathic broadcasting array. The response was immediate. The Devourer's aggressive posture shifted, its razor appendages folded against its body, and a low harmonic emanated from its core. Not a roar of hunger, but something that sounded almost lonely. Over the following days, the humans made a discovery that shook their understanding of the universe. The Devourers weren't mindless destroyers. They were ancient beings, older than most galactic civilizations, driven to consume not by malice but by an agonizing emptiness. They had been searching the galaxy for millennia, desperately seeking something they had lost eons ago: companionship. Dr. Morrison's research revealed the truth. The Devourers were the last survivors of the galaxy's first sentient species. A cosmic catastrophe had destroyed their homeworld and left them drifting through space, their very biology altered by exposure to dark energy. They consumed other civilizations not for sustenance but because they were trying to fill a psychological void, the unbearable loneliness of being the only ones of their kind. The breakthrough came when young communications officer Lisa Park, barely out of the academy, made a simple gesture. During one of their meetings with the devourer entity they had designated as Alpha, she placed her hand against the transparent barrier separating them. The massive creature towering above her slowly extended one of its appendages to mirror her action. That single moment of connection changed everything. The humans didn't try to fight the devourers. They didn't attempt to cage or control them. Instead, they did something that no other species had even considered. They offered friendship. They established communication protocols based on emotional resonance rather than language. They shared stories, music, and memories. They showed the devourers that they weren't alone in the universe, that connection was possible without consumption. When the Galactic Council learned of the humans' success, the reaction was explosive. Some called it impossible. Others declared it madness. But the evidence was undeniable. The devourers had stopped their destructive advance. More than that, they had begun to rebuild, using their incredible abilities to restore damaged worlds rather than destroy them. Ambassador Zektar stood before the council, his 6 eyes wide with wonder. The humans have accomplished what we thought impossible. They looked at our greatest nightmare and saw potential friends. Captain Chen addressed the assembly with quiet pride. My species has a saying, there are no monsters, only misunderstood beings. We've learned that sometimes, what the galaxy fears most is simply what it understands least. The partnership between humanity and the devourers would go on to reshape galactic civilization. The ancient beings shared technologies beyond imagination, while humans provided something even more valuable. Proof that connection could triumph over isolation, that understanding could conquer fear. And in the depths of space, former destroyers worked alongside their small, brave friends to build something beautiful from the ashes of old terrors. The galaxy had feared monsters. They never expected humanity to teach them that monsters too could learn to love.